Hello everyone. As we have already discussed many companies from solar industry, renewable sector industry, today we are going to discuss BESS industry. In this video, we are going to discuss complete BESS industry, how is the value unlocking happening, what is the time of the BESS industry, then how many player, what are the vertical in the BESS industry. So in this video, we are going to cover everything about BESS industry. In next video, we will cover some good company from BESS industry. So let's start with what is the reason behind the crazy growth in BESS industry. First, the time mismatch in solar industry. As we know that most of the solar energy produced in afternoon around 10 to 3 p.m. But the peak demand in India came around 6 to 10 p.m. evening. Then how could you deliver that much peak demand when you're around more than 50 to 60% energy is going to produce in future from solar? So it is a timing mismatch of the energy production and energy demand. So this is the main reason behind the BESS industry growth. So I hope you understand what is leading to the crazy demand behind BESS industry. Let's understand the number behind this BESS industry growth. Just think about it. Till December 2025, India is less than 1 gigawatt hour of the BESS capacity. But the only in 2025, around 100 plus gigawatt hour of tender has been announced and around 29 gigawatt hour of the tender have been auctioned. Still, the India has only 1 gigawatt hour of capacity. So if you talk about 2027, it is projected that around 9 to 10 gigawatt hour of the BESS capacity will be added in just 2027. Mean till last year it was around 1 gigawatt hour. In this year it is around going to add 9 to 10 gigawatt hour. Mean around 9 to 10x growth in just 1 year. And in next year it is going to increase to 15 to 20 gigawatt hour, and till 2030 it is going to reach to around 200 gigawatt hour of the capacity. So as you can see, the growing demand in BESS segment is exponential, and the time will be around 10 to 12 billion dollar till 2030. The number is looking crazy. If we found out some good business and in current situation and invest and wait till next 3 to 4 year, we can make tons of money in returns. So we covered the business demand and numbers. So let's move to the business vertical and supply chain. If we try to simplify the supply chain of BESS industry, there are three segments. First, cell manufacturing, which is mainly dependent on China, but in India, many companies are doing a lot of capex like Adani Renewables, then Reliance Renewables, Ola Electric, Amara Energy Solution, Exide Industry. But if we talk about ROC in cell industry, there is hardly any ROC if we talk about in current situation. But if there are any regulatory changes came, which will eventually come to protect the cell manufacturing industry, then maybe there could be around 15 to 20% ROC. But if you talk about current situation, there is not much potential to invest. As for example, if you talk about Amara Raja, they are doing around 5 to 10,000 crore capex, but the maximum profit around 2090 2030, if they cross 10 gigawatt hour of the capacity of cell manufacturing, that could be around 450 to 500 crore. When you are doing ROC of around 9 to 10% in cell manufacturing, if we talk about current prices, maybe in future the regulation came and prices maybe can increase. But if you talk about current prices, the ROC in cell manufacturing is very low. Then came to converter. What they do, they import cell from China, then convert into one BESS container. As you can see image on the screen, this BESS container is mainly created from using cell. Talk about cell price is around 60% of the container. I mean, you are doing 40% value increase in converter, and the converter is currently earning 10 to 12% to 15% margin based on their product and their quality. So converter is currently, if you talk about risk and demand, the converter demand increasing day by day, but there is relatively low risk compared to cell manufacturing. They are currently profitable, doing good 12 to 15% margin, and ROC is currently good. So converter, if you talk about converter, is currently at good position to invest. Then came to EPC businesses, where a lot of high capex needed, high cash flow needed. Mean the talk about EPC businesses, that is not that much risk reward adjusted profitable companies. If you talk about the segment, the converter is currently at good place, then came to EPC company, then came to cell manufacturing. If you talk about ROC in near term, maybe EPC company can earn more because of the high demand. But in mid term, the converter will grow better. They will do better margin. But in long term, cell manufacturing can be more profitable. But the risk in cell manufacturing is very high, then high in EPC and low in currently converter businesses. But what if we found a EPC businesses who is backward integrating to converter business, then that businesses could be more profitable, more sustainable, and maybe that type of business can do backward integration to cell manufacturing. So if we see the current situation, there are many companies that were in only EPC segment. They are doing a good amount of capex and increasing their capacity of converter businesses. So that type of business currently, if you see, that could be good in BESS segment, that can earn margin from EPC segment. Also that they can earn from their converter businesses. So if you really want to invest in BESS segment, then target the type of company which is in both segment and currently profitable, doing good capex, increasing their capacity, and the guidance from management is quite high. So this was the vertical, but there is one more vertical in this business, which is IPP. As you know that there are many companies which are in solar IPP. They are setting up their solar park, producing electricity and selling to Discom and NTPC like companies. But in this segment also IPP is going to increase. What is happening? The like Discom, NTPC, they are not willing to do that much capex, and so that is why they are targeting IPP. They are telling IPP, independent power producer, to set up their BESS segment on their behalf. They will pay independent power producer to a fixed amount on the megawatt basis, a monthly rental income type. When you are going to earn a rental income from your BESS project, it will not vary like solar segment where your revenue is dependent on how much energy you produce. Here you will earn a fixed rental income depend on how much capacity in megawatt hour or gigawatt hour you have set up. So it is a fixed income rental model. But here is a very big risk going on. If you see the rental income price, which has been crashed around 40%. Why? Because the sell prices have been also crashed. So there is a lot of underbid happening. I mean, the IPP are doing a lot of underbidding for project because they are assuming that the sale prices will eventually go down and they will earn profit despite getting low rental income. So there is a lot of high risk in this business. I mean, the demand is good, but the competition is quite high, and that is why I will suggest you to keep distance from the IPP who are underbidding in BSS segment. Maybe there could be a good businesses who are doing a proper research and analysis before bidding, and they are going to earn good margin. But there are many companies who are doing underbidding on the hope of battery price crashes. But as you know, the geopolitics situation is not quite good, so maybe the prices of cell could be sustainable and could sustain to this level. So maybe the IPP who are doing underbidding, they will like their ROC could go down around 4 to 5% or maybe less, and they will have to pay interest to banks. So that type of companies are currently in very high risk zone. So keep away from that type of businesses. So in this video, we have almost covered everything. In next video, we will cover some good businesses from BSS segment around 1 to 2 maximum. So that is it from today. Let's meet in next video. Thank you.